Hello everyone, welcome to Photoplay's YouTube channel and welcome back to Tuesdays with Tina. I have a fun project to share with you today. We are shaking it up. We're using some Say It With Stamps items and we're creating a fun Halloween card. We're using the Say It With Stamps Spooky Word and Shadow die set. It's just two dies. You have the shadow and then you also have the spooky. And the spooky, I don't know if you can tell on camera, but it has stitch detail. I'm in love with this. I just think it adds a little playfulness to your Halloween cards, and that little spider is just too adorable. So we're going to be using this die set, and then we're also going to add the Inside Out Halloween 4x6 stamp set. We're going to stamp a greeting on the outside, and then we're also going to stamp it on the inside. Well, that's the greeting inside out. That's the best thing about this stamp set. And it's all thing Halloween. You can use it for witch images, ghost images, all of the Halloween you can imagine. This set is perfect for that. We'll be using this. And for my background, I thought we'd make a shaped card, a shaped shaker card today. We are using the Photoplay paper A2 Nested Arches die set to create that. We're going to do an archway that kind of looks like a tunneling look, but it's not. And then we'll create a shaped card with the largest of this. So we're going to jump in. I'm going to start by picking out some colored cardstock and we'll get started. I have some colors here, and I went non-traditional Halloween colors. I'm not a spooky Halloween person, and so when you use bright, vibrant colors on Halloween cards, it just makes it less spooky to me. So we're going bright and vibrant. Okay, first I have some black cardstock. I have a strip of it, and what we're going to do is take my scissors. I'm going to trim down a small piece, and I'm going to do the same with the rest of this. And then taking my spooky die, I just want about 6 or 7 of the spider in here. So I'm going to line this right up behind that spider, and I'll die cut this out 6 or 7 times. Okay, we'll do that. And then while we're die cutting, I have some pink cardstock. We're going to die cut out our spooky also. And I do want a little bit of dimension to my spooky. So I have a couple pieces of white cardstock that we're going to die cut this out for layering. Okay. My shadow I'm going to create with black cardstock. And then we have lots of colored cardstock. This is where our arches come in with the rest of the colored cardstock. Using the largest, I'm actually going to die cut out a panel with white cardstock. Because we're making a shaped shaker card, what I like to do is trim a little bit off the top of an A2. Let me show you. So today's card is going to be a top folding card base. But what I'm going to do is take the largest arch die. I'm going to line it up. So we keep the fold. I'm going to die cut this out to where the top of the arch is overhanging on that score mark, okay? And then we'll create a panel with that also. Now, we have green cardstock. This is the My Colors. This is Kiwi. I'll die cut the next size with Kiwi. And then we have some yellow. We'll do the next size with yellow. We'll do the next size with orange. The next size with pink. And then one size with purple, and then our last one with white. Lots of arches today. Okay, and then I do have a piece of acetate. I'll come back to this in just a minute. So I'll die cut all of this out. We're going to create our shaker. I ended up die cutting out 7 spiders, and you can go as many as you want or as few as you want, but I think 7 is a great number. We're actually going to put 1 on the inside, so I'm going to leave the spider string on one of them. The rest I just cut them off. Okay, we'll put these over here. Then we have our card base. You can see just that little area helped create a shaped card. Okay, and then these are all of our layers. So much fun. Now I'm going to take the first layer. We're going to go ahead and add some glue. I'm not going to add it to the very top because that's going to be what's overhanging. Okay, this is just going to layer right over the existing card. we're just making that arch hole again. This is the back side. You have that, just that little area. Okay. Now, I'm going to take the first 4 from smallest, okay, and we're going to layer all of these together. So first we'll take our pink. We'll layer this. The nice thing about glue is you have time to adjust. We'll add purple. And we'll add white. So this one has 4 layers. Okay, we'll put this with our card base. I'm going to come back to these in just a minute. Before we make our shaker, I do want to layer all of my spookies together. We'll add our next layer. So right now we have 3 stacked together. We have a little bit of dimension. And then with my pink, this is going to go at the very top. So let's add some glue here and we'll stack this. And you'll notice here on these spiders, I left the eyes in it. This way when I add my pink layer, you can see those white eyes peeking out. Wonderful. So we have a nice dimension. We're going to add this to our shadow next. Some areas you can see glue, but the glue will dry clear eventually. But there's our spooky. Now we're going to do a little bit more die cutting. So these are our arches that we have. If you layer all 3 of these together, you can see it just creates like a tunnel look. Okay, these ones we glued together. What we're going to do with these is line them up. I'm going to actually use my tape runner. I'm going to lightly tack them together. Just lightly. Just so they don't shift. Making sure they're centered. Now I'm going to bring back my die set. Okay, and I'm going to take this size of die, which would be this one. Okay, I'm going to line it up on these. We'll just tack this down, making sure it's centered. I'll use some tape to help secure it. Okay, so this one's ready to go. Now I'm going to take one size larger, which would be the yellow arch that we created. It's the next size up. And you can see here, I want to die cut that out with a piece of acetate. I'll run these through my die cut machine and I'll be right back. Okay, let's separate these. So we have a thin frame. We'll put this back. We have a thin frame. We have a thicker frame. If you were to layer these together like this, and then we have these 2 pieces, which I'm going to separate. These 2 pieces. I'm not going to use the yellow, but I am going to be using the green. So we'll put that up there with our greeting. Now you can see all of these will fit in here nicely still. Okay, what we're going to do is take our green frame. I'm going to go ahead and add adhesive behind here. You can use glue if you wanted. Okay, and then we're going to layer this on our card base, making sure it's centered. Like so. And then we're going to create our shaker. So I'm going to add adhesive behind here. You could use glue if you want. For me, sometimes just using tape is better because I don't have to worry about glue oozing out. Now I'm going to take this frame and layer it. It's the same size, so I'm just going to layer this on my acetate. So there we go. Now I'm going to flip this over and we're going to add some thin foam strips behind here. We'll just line these up. Now after we have adhesive around the edge, I'm going to do one more thing. Our spooky is going to go right in the middle, and to keep my shaker bits from going all the way down to the bottom, we're going to create a line in our shaker window. Okay, so I'm going to use another foam we're going to just add another piece of foam tape. I'm going to put it directly in the middle here. And then I'll take another strip and we're going to just basically kind of section it off. When you do this, you want to make sure that your spooky will be covering that right in the middle. Okay, now we're going to remove all of the release paper. Now we're going to take this arch set that we created. This has all 4 layers. I'm going to glue this on the inside of this archway here. Okay. Now I have some gems here. These are on the smaller side, and I'm going to add, keeping them in that center portion, and I'll add some to the bottom. Now you're just making sure, you just want to make sure that your gems are not in the middle and they are not on this green frame area, okay? Now we're going to add, now we're going to add some spiders. I'm going to tuck them under some of the gems here so they can move around. You want to make sure that your spiders are not in this area in the middle. So we'll just line this up. I need to lower this a little bit. We'll go ahead and attach this frame. We'll give it a good press around all those edges, and we're sealing in those spiders and those gems. So now we have a little shake with those spiders. Sometimes gems are nice because they have a little shake to them. Okay, I have 2 spiders left. I'm going to add them on the inside of my card. So I'm going to add some adhesive. This one still has the spider string on it. I'm going to attach it to the top here. And then we have this one. We can add a little adhesive too. And I'm going to add this to the bottom. And then we can bring in our stamp set and some black cardstock. Okay, for this card on the inside, since we have bugs on here, I thought we would stamp sending bugs and kisses and Halloween wishes. We'll stamp this right here on the arch. I'm going to bring in my stamping positioner. I'll stamp this with my black ink. Wonderful. Now this is good to go. For the front of my card, we're stamping on some black cardstock. We're going to do some heat embossing. So I'm using my watermark ink and I'm stamping Spooktacular Wishes. We're going to bring in some white embossing powder. We'll just give it a good dip. And then I'll go ahead and melt this, and then I will trim it down. So we have Spooktacular Wishes. I'm going to go ahead and add this directly in the middle of my spooky. We'll just place this in there. I put adhesive behind my green arch, and this is just going to go in the center. And then we're going to add some adhesive behind here. And then now we're going to tack this right in the middle, covering up that area. And we have a fun shaker card that's pretty on the inside and out, using the Say It With Stamps Spooky Word and Shadow die, along with the Inside Out Halloween stamp set and a few arches. Thanks so much for stopping by. Have a great day.